When you are a single woman who is also spiritual, it is often easy to point the fingers to the higher power and use that as a reason, an excuse for why you are still single. So you may say things like, I am still single, or I haven't called in my life partner, my future husband, because it's not divine timing yet. Or you may say that the planets, the stars are not aligned yet, or that maybe God hasn't allowed him to meet you yet. And when you see other women attracting and calling in their life partner, maybe they're getting married, they're having kids, you may say, oh, that's because they're lucky. And I totally hear you on why you may say those things, because you have tried everything under the sun to make a relationship work, to get into a relationship, but then it feels and appears as though nothing that you do is working. And so at one point you surrender, you give up and say, oh, it must just be something outside of me that controls it, which is a step up in your level of consciousness, because now you're realizing that it's beyond the human control. The mind that is trying to get the husband, trying to get into a marriage, is not the one in charge, because there is something bigger. There is a way more powerful source that is at play. But the problem that so many spiritual women get into is when you start using that higher power and thinking that higher power that dictates whether you attract and call him in is outside of you. You start projecting it, you start externalizing it, thinking that whether you attract and call in your life partner, your dream husband, depends on this outside force that is far and away from you. And that, my love, will always give you the result that show that it is the case. And so you will feel like you have to wait forever, and despite all that surrendering and letting go, then you're still not receiving and attracting your life partner. And if that is the case, what you need to understand, my love, is that the truth is that divine power, you see, the ultimate higher power that brings him in, call in your life partner, is actually not outside of you. It is not external to you. Rather, the divine is within, is in you. It's just like how when you are a leaf is part of the tree. But if a leaf thinks that, oh, the tree is outside of me, what the tree does is independent of what I do, then it loses its power, because the leaf doesn't see that the tree is also in it. That the leaf is part of the tree. The leaf is an extension of the tree. And just like that, you are an extension of the divine power, source, universe that brings him and calls in and attract the love of your life, your dream partner, your dream husband, whatever you call him to be. Which is the reason why, if you want to call in and attract your dream partner, what you need to realize is that the truth is, it's not luck. Luck is something that you attribute to an outside force, an external thing. But the truth of what actually attracts and call him into your life is not this mystery, unknown power outside of you, but it is within you and has always been within you. And when you desire a husband, a partner, a marriage, but if you haven't called him in, oftentimes it is because you just haven't seen, you just haven't been aware of that power that already resides within you. And I want to make sure that this is different from blaming yourself. This is not saying you're the one at fault. The reason why you haven't called him in is because something is wrong with you. No, it's totally a different thing. Because what we're talking about here is how, if you haven't called in your life partner, despite you wanting him, oftentimes it is just that we just haven't been aware of the parts of you that are responsible for attracting him and are responsible for blocking you from receiving him. Now, this is a totally different story from, oh, there must be something wrong with me and that's why I haven't attracted him. Because when we're saying that there's something wrong with me, again, it's like you're attaching your identity to it. But we need to go and transcend beyond the identity, beyond this person that is trying to manifest, trying to attract a husband, and instead see the parts that are in the play for what they are. It's about taking radical ownership. It's about realizing that that power that calls in your life partner, attract him into your life, is nothing outside and external from you, but rather it is within you. Because after all, one of the highest truths of the universe is that the truth is what is within is without. You can only see what is without you, meaning what is external to you, like attracting and calling in your life partner, when you have seen and experienced what is within you. So within you always needs to come first before you start to see things outside of you. And in the case of attracting and calling in your future husband, your life partner, what it means is that the reason why you haven't attracted and called him into your life, it's not because something is missing in you or you're lacking in some other way, but instead it's because you haven't seen what is within you. Usually it's because we haven't seen, we haven't made conscious, we haven't made aware of what is within us, which is why we haven't called him and attracted into our life on the outside. Which, by the way, this is an in-depth thing that we do in my one-on-one sessions, and you can book a free intro session to see what I'm exactly talking about, where you start to see that things that you haven't been seeing. And for so many women, many of them even cry tears of joy, because now it makes total sense. It's like all the light bulbs are coming in up, because you're now seeing why the things that you have been doing, the things that you haven't been trying, hasn't been working. Now we get to the root source. So you start to see the root source of it, and you can find out for free on a free consultation session. The link is in the description box below. And so back to my point, which is that if you desire to call in and attract a dream husband, your life partner, what you need to realize, my love, is that the power of whether you call him or not is within you. It's not something outside of you. The divine is not something external to you, but instead you have the power. And I don't mean the small self, the separate self, the ego, the part of us that feels small and separate. That's not where the power is. The power of the divine, the power that determines whether you call him or not, it resides within you. Or you can call it your higher self, or you can call it your pure awareness. And it is your pure awareness that allows you to call him in and attract him into your life. Because after all, the other truth of the universe is that seeing is experiencing. Now, what does that mean? It means that the more you see yourself, the more you become aware of who you are, the more you become aware of the parts within yourself. That is how you start to gain power over your reality too. In other words, when you see who you are, when you know who you are, when you are in touch with the deepest parts of who you are, this is how you call in and you attract your life partner. And 9 times out of 10, when women haven't called in and attracted their life partner, their dream husband, even though that is this longing desire inside of them, oftentimes it's just that you just haven't seen, you just haven't been made aware of the parts inside of you that are blocking you from attracting him. So to make sure that it makes sense for you, I'm going to demonstrate with a few examples that I have seen in my client's life and how they have shifted and transformed because of their shift in awareness, because of the depth of what they see within themselves. So one of them, let's call her woman A, and we're gonna name that for confidential reasons. She finds herself blocked in attracting her life partner, her dream man, because no matter how many dates she go onto, no matter how many swipes that she would do on dating apps, she keeps calling in and attracting men who are not up for a serious committed relationship. And even when they're interested in her, they end up becoming flings, or some of them end up ghosting her. Some of them are only interested in casual hookups. Some of them do not even know what they want. Those men say that they're just going with the flow. Let's see where this goes. They have no direction. They don't claim her, pursue her, and choose her. And so for many, many years, she finds herself feeling stuck, wondering, why is it that every man that I meet, every man that I go out on dates with and I'm attracted to and they're attracted to me, why is it that none of them are available for a committed, serious relationship? And she ends up trying to chase their attention, trying to make them change their mind, and watching videos on how to make them chase her. But at the end of the day, she only ends up feeling exhausted because no matter what she tries, she ends up going back to square one, still alone, still single, still not having the committed, serious relationship that she desires. And she thought that she must be the problem. Something must be wrong with her because all her friends and coworkers, they're easily getting into relationships, some of them getting engaged, and so she feels late to the party, feeling as though something must be wrong with her as to why men are not choosing her for a long-term partnership. And when she came into my work, as soon as she came in, even before we took the deep healing and coaching personalized guidance, right away I could see that there are patterns within her that are blocking her from attracting her life partner. For example, a pattern that is afraid of speaking up what she desires, what she wants for herself. We saw parts of her that are holding herself back, afraid that if she wants too much, then the guy would say to her that she is too needy or she wants too much, she is so high maintenance. And then that part of her is afraid that men will walk away because she is wanting so much. And as a result, that part is holding her back, preventing her from attracting and calling in her life partner, because anytime that she would meet a man, it's like she would shrink and hide her desires, hide herself from expressing her truth in what she wants. And not only that, there is another pattern on top that was afraid of making decisions, including walking away from the non-serious one. Because what this part of her is afraid is that she might make the wrong decisions. It's afraid that she might go the wrong way and therefore not end up choosing the one. And these are just some of the examples of the patterns within her that are blocking her from attracting the love of her life. And if she had been doing it on her own, trying to figure it out on her own, there are very tiny chances, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but that it would take a long time for her to become aware of what is blocking her from attracting her life partner. But instead, she would just keep trying, going out on more dates, and then end up wondering why things didn't go well, ending up being frustrated and disappointed. And my love, all of these happen because she hasn't seen these parts of herself. One, such as the part that hold back, and then two, the part of her that is afraid of making decisions. No wonder she end up attracting the wrong men and the men who are not ready for a serious committed relationship. Or consider my other client, we're gonna call her client B, again for confidential reasons. In a very similar way, she had problem attracting her life partner, her dream husband, because anytime she would get into a relationship, all the men that she choose have little devotion. As in, they don't initiate, they don't plan, they don't put in enough effort for the relationship. And it's like she has to carry these relationships all by herself, reminding them, trying to teach them what to do, how to say. And at the end of the day, again, she feels exhausted and she ends up wondering, why is it that no matter how much she tries and no matter which person that she gets into a relationship with, all the men are passive. They are not showing up for her. They are not consistent in the way that she desires. And just like A, she thought that something must be wrong with her too. Until, of course, she came into my work. And right away, we could see the patterns within her that are blocking her in her love life. Such as, for example, a part of her that tend to control men. We saw a part within her that gets controlling, that gets demanding, that does not feel safe to trust men. It's like she needs to know exactly where he is, what he is doing, or else her mind would go into spirals. And as a result of this pattern inside of her, which she haven't been aware of, she knew it, but she didn't know that it was controlling her. And as a result of this pattern that was hidden within her awareness, she then ended up choosing and selecting men who do not have their own internal control, like men who are passive, men who do not have the motivation, men who are easygoing and who do not put in effort. Why? Because there is this pattern inside of her that is doing the men's work. And so why would the man need to do his work? And similarly, because she is mostly in that doing, trying to control things, as a result, she ends up being attracted to men who are passive, who are more in, you can say, their feminine, because her own internal feminine is repressed. And for both of these women, regardless of whatever action or however they try to communicate, none of that was working in these relationships, because little did they know there were patterns that were controlling them. And we can only begin choosing differently, as in choosing men who are healthy, who are safe for us, who are compatible with us, when we start seeing these patterns that are running in the background when it comes to relationships. And for so many of us, for so many of the women, we are trying to approach relationships from our mind, trying to figure out what to do, what to say, what to communicate. But what we are not aware of is seeing who is the one that is trying to do, who is the one that is needing to communicate. And until we gain awareness of the parts of us that are inside of us, the parts of us that are within us, that are controlling our love life without our awareness, until then, you will feel as though you are powerless. You may feel hopeless in your love life because it appears as though the fate of your love life depends on luck, as if it's something outside of you, external to you, when the truth is just that you just haven't looked deep enough into yourself. So to sum it all up, in order to attract and call in your life partner, your dream husband material, the most important shift that you need to start making is, instead of trying to change things that are outside of you, you need to realize that the first and foremost shift that needs to be shifted is that which is within you. After all, the power has always been within you. The power to attract and call in your life partner, your dream husband, is not outside of you. It has always been within you. And if you haven't tapped into that power, it is only because we are not seeing it, we are not aware of it. And instead, you can call them the shadow parts of you, or the unconscious parts of you, the parts of you that you didn't know about yourself. They are running in the background. They are taking over your love life, sabotaging your love life, making you go into the opposite direction of where you want to go. And as long as these unconscious forces are running in the background and they are controlling you, you will never be able to receive and experience and attract the love of your life, your dream partner, your dream relationship that you desire. It's just like, let's say, for example, you're someone who wants to touch the clouds. But if these patterns are running in the background, it's like you're driving on a car. And as it doesn't matter how far you go with the car, you can go all the way from California to Florida, all across the globe. But regardless, you will end up never reaching the clouds, because you're going with the wrong car. And the same way, when you are not aware of the patterns within you, the parts of you that are controlling, that are shaping your love life, you will never be able to attract and call in your dream partner, because they end up leading you to the same destination, attracting the wrong type of men or getting into unhealthy relationships that you can't sustain for life. And that, my love, is because you haven't been aware of the vehicle that you're riding, right? It's just like how when you're in a car, as long as you're in the car, you will not be able to touch the clouds. Only when you jump from the car and shift onto a plane or a helicopter or whatever that is, then you can touch the clouds. And the same way in your love life, it's not about how much you try hard. It's not about what you say, what you communicate, how you show up. Rather, it is about becoming so aware of yourself that you have the power over who you choose and what you're attracted to. Otherwise, you will only end up attracting and calling in the wrong men who are not capable of being a life partner for you. And that, my love, has also been how these clients of mine have been able to shift their love life around and call in their life partner, a healthy relationship that they have always desired. And if you desire to also call in the love of your life in the most easeful, powerful way possible, with peace of mind, without worries and stress, That is what my one-on-one coaching is for, and you can find out for it for free in a consultation session where you also pinpoint and spot the exact blocks and patterns that have been holding you back in your love life, so that you know the exact way on how you call in the love of your life. The link is in the description box below. Much love.